I'm reporting today from outside of the hearing room where we just concluded a hearing which I chaired as chairman of the Subcommittee on Courts in the Judiciary Committee. The topic that was assigned to us was some proposed legislation to change the constitutional mandatory retirement age for judges. In the 1968 Constitutional Convention, the conventioneers recommended and then the voters approved constitutional changes that imposed a mandatory retirement age of 70 for our judges in Pennsylvania, both at the county level and at the appellate court level. Since 1968, and most recently, there have been some court challenges to that mandatory retirement provision. So there's been legislation introduced that would change that. It would require another constitutional amendment, but that amendment would take the retirement age from the current age of 70 up to 75. There's also another proposal that would uncap the age so that there would be no longer a mandatory retirement age for judges. At the hearing today, we heard testimony from several diverse groups. We've heard from 2 different bar associations. We heard from a group called Pennsylvanians for Modern Courts who studies the courts, and they did terrific analysis on the court system and what the impact of mandatory retirement might be. We also heard from a gerontologist who told us a lot about the age effect on people's ability to do their work. The life expectancy, you wouldn't be surprised to learn that the life expectancy for both men and women has increased substantially since that constitutional provision was put into effect back in 1968. So we also heard from a dean from a prestigious law school in Pennsylvania who talked about the constitutional history back in 1968 when this idea was first being discussed. So we received a lot of information. The issue will now go to the full committee. The subcommittee has had this hearing. We have some things that we want to try to digest in terms of what the financial impact would be on allowing judges to stay in place up to, let's say, the age of 75, which is the current proposal. What effect that would have on the budgets of the counties that have these judges. Whether we would, what effect it would have on filling vacancies on the bench, what effect it would have on the system of senior judges, which we currently have in place. It allows judges, upon being certified as a senior judge, to continue to handle cases on a per-day basis or on a temporary basis to fill in gaps in counties or outside of their county where caseload demands it. What effect it would have on the senior judge program. So there's a lot of analysis that we heard today. We've got to digest all of that. And the next step would be for us to take from the subcommittee to the full committee of judiciary a recommendation that they move or not move or consider the legislation in committee. So all in all, very interesting day. We learned a lot about mental competency and how people, especially judges in this case, are able to do a lot more, work a lot longer than they have in the past. And it's up for future consideration, but I thought you'd be interested in knowing what we're doing at the Capitol here today. So thanks for paying attention.